Welcome, everybody, to Break Road 35 International. This is Steve Hoffman, VP of Global Operations, live. And some of you may be watching the recording. I'm in the U.S. right now, US of A. Of course, United States doing this one. Was in Philippines just a few days ago. Heading back there shortly. Other cities will be visiting around the country as well. Planning for some big stuff to be announced really soon. And also some more things going to be announced. That's coming up at our Champions Night, November 10th. Those watching this after November 10th, you probably already know about those things. But really big and exciting things coming our way. Today's training is becoming a break road leader. And this is kind of based on my personal experience in the industry for about 30 years, as well as watching other leaders in break road, because you have to make it specific for the company that you're doing. Some of us may be good leaders already in past businesses and other programs, but applying it to your present and current program, which is Break Road, is something that we want to do. And I've noticed some things that they're doing that I like. I want to share that with you, as well as, again, from my past experience. So let's get started with your path to leadership. It begins with your mindset. A lot of it is psychology. I talk about this all the time. I studied in college with my minor was human behavior and development. And I learned a lot from that, stating, or just figuring out that your mind and the way we think controls our future and our direction, even in business. Now, there's a chance your sponsor and even upline may not be leader material. You'll see why in this presentation. Most are not. And that means somebody needs to take the lead, which should be, and hopefully that is you. So that means you're also going to have to figure out things on your own, because you may not have that sponsor or upline. I was in a program too where my sponsor signed up a few days before me, and his sponsor signed up a month before he did. So how much can you really know in that short period of time? And that happens a lot in this industry. So we have to do some homework and some research, checking. One thing that we want to do in Break Road is really focus a lot on improving and increasing communication compared to other programs, which means everybody working together, uplines from other teams, sponsors of other people that will work with you. And based on our global pool bonus, this is something that can work because they can benefit from your efforts. You need to teach what you learn. So if you learn something in this program, or even outside of this program, if you're taking your own personal training classes, which I did, I spent thousands of dollars learning from some of the best in the industry. And you need to share and teach what you learn. Don't keep it a secret. You need to be a communicator with your team, always keeping in touch with them, letting them know what you're doing, what's going on with the company. And we try to do that as well through all the things that we like on Facebook and emails, whatever it may be. It could be phone calls, conference calls, webinars like this. Just be a communicator, especially with those that you directly sponsor, because the goal is some of those people will be leaders. You want to find out who they are. You need to realize that not everyone you sponsor will share your vision. Now, in this training, I'm also going to point out the good and the bad. And for some people, it may be tough when you see the numbers, but it's reality. I want to deal with reality when it comes to training and learning any kind of business, really. So not everyone you sponsor will share your vision. In fact, unfortunately, expect most people you sponsor not to share your vision. And that's what makes it kind of hard. Here's the facts. And it used to be different. It used to be called the 20% rule, or they call it the 80-20 rule. Now it's a 95-5 rule. 5% do what 95% won't do. And when I said years ago, 80% did not succeed in this industry and 20% did. Well, now with all this online programs they have out there, fly-by-night companies that are gone 6 to 12 months, they're out of business. And their whole intention really was not to succeed, just to get some quick money. That's not what Break Road is about. At the time that you're watching this webinar live, it's 3 years old already. and growing, and it's going to get better. And I've seen some things coming our way that will excite you. But 5%, that is the success rate in this industry. And we still produce more millionaires than any other industry. But also other industries have the same percentages. It's really low, whether you have a franchise, you're opening a business. You go to the mall, how many stores close down? Especially after Christmas if they didn't have a good season. I went to a mall last week, and I was shocked at how many vacancies there are of all those stores that are out of business. Same thing in network marketing. So you need to be in that 5% group. Now, that's an industry average. The 95% that won't, that could be a lot higher with Break Road. And I think it's based on the way we market, especially through live demos. The success rate you'll have with live demos, if you haven't started yet, will really blow you away. It's mind-boggling, the success rate. Goal setting. This is also important. I've taken classes of goal setting, long-term and short-term goals. And long-term goals don't make too much of a sense if you can't reach your short-term goals. We're talking about 3 months, 1 month, even your first week in business. And your first week could be pretty simple. It could be writing down your contact list and setting up some appointments, and then ordering your package. Things like that, the simple, basic things. Obviously, you don't want to do a demo your first week. One reason you may not have a package. Now, I do recommend to leaders, use stock inventory. So if somebody comes on board, while they're waiting for their package, give them a pack of regular pads. They can now do 10 demos if they learn it their first week. Or you can sell them a pack of regular pads at your cost, including the shipping. You don't really need to give it away. I tend to do that sometimes. It just really depends. But we're in business. They need to expect to buy and invest as well. I found that if you give away too much, that person doesn't succeed because they have nothing to lose. I get upset when I see somebody else paying for someone's package. Why did you do that? They need to put out their own money to make it work. Otherwise, they have nothing in it, nothing to lose. They have to have something in it. Some people call it something in the game. I don't think this is a game. We shouldn't treat it as a game. But I think you get my point here. So sell them a pack of regular pads. Have it on stock. I like to sell panty liners as well because that's our most popular product. Women use it like crazy, and men put it in their shoes. It is all different things on their back, on their forehead for the negative ions. So again, keep a little inventory there. Create a long-term goal for a year from now and keep it real. That should be your long-term goal, not 5 years, 1 year. And the reason why I say keep it real, people say, well, I could be a millionaire in 12 months. Has it happened? It has happened, but not even 1%. So keep your goal real. Maybe with Break Road, it may be going diamond within your first year. That's a real goal, to go diamond. And that could change your life because usually if you're a diamond, you're getting 6 figures, which is a nice income to have for most. And it can only compound from there. What are you going to need to get started? Think about it. Have you really created a list of the things you're going to need? Well, obviously, you're going to need all the materials or the items to do a live demo, like your syringes, your plastic cups, even a roll of paper towels. Some people like to use water, color dye or food dye to put in, red or blue, depending on which one you want to use. Things that you need, the competitor pads, they're regular versus our regular pads, and also extra product to sell at your demos. That's where a lot of people miss out. Are you selling product at your demos? Some people may want to sign up. Okay, they're going to get part of their package right there. You know, as we add more products around the world, you want to stock those. Sell them at your demos, almost like you're doing a trade show, which will be another topic on future training. Become educated in all aspects of the business, such as your comp plan. And by the way, that should be released, a new, a global international version, because it's a little different than the one in the Philippines. It's pretty much done. I just want to talk with Corp a little bit more. I may just release it as is. Your products. Got to know your products inside and out compared to your competitors' products. Using the back office, we have tutorials, all of that is there. You need to really learn your business. Just like you're going to spend $250,000 on a franchise, yeah, you got a lot to lose there. Well, we don't have anything like that to spend here. Like the most expensive package we have is the Elite package for a little over $1,000, which is a low cost for a business. So again, there's not a whole lot to lose, even at the highest package, but we have to treat it as if we have $250,000 or $500,000 to lose, because you can lose more than that if you don't make that kind of money here. You need to realize that some, if not most of the people you sponsor are not leaders. They may be successful. They may make $400 or $500 US a month, which to some people, that's great. That's a nice car payment. It could be part of their mortgage payment, the utility bills. That may be all they're looking for. They are not looking for something full-time. And you have to realize that as much as you may want them to say, oh, they got so much potential, they can make more than their job. It may not be for them. They just want extra income, and they're doing this. I think it's fun. I love doing a demo. I get excited. I can't wait to do a demo, to see the reaction on the people that are there for the first time. It's an amazing feeling. I'm a musician. I used to play live in bands. I almost get that same kind of feeling. It's like you're performing. And that's what it should be. Get your emotions into it when you're doing these live demos. Be excited. We're going to talk about that in a moment. People can be trained to be leaders. Not everybody is like they say born leaders. Well, not everyone is, but some can be trained. They didn't know they had it in them. In fact, some of the people are even shy, but they end up becoming good leaders, and that's because of something called confidence. When you build up confidence and you like what you're doing, then you could become a leader. Expect the majority of your team to quit. Now, why am I talking about that? Which could affect your goals, because we're talking about goal setting. And if the rule is 5-95 or 95-5 rule, now, hey, 95% is a majority. We can change that here, as I said, in Breakroom, because first of all, I've never had a sign-up ratio like I'm getting now. And this is real numbers. Over 90% that see a live demo when I do it sign up. In all my years in network marketing, I have never had that kind of success. Not even close to that. Not even 50% after I would do a presentation would sign up. But when they see our demo and how powerful it is, they want to not just be part of it, they want to be consumers of the business. They want the product. And some of your customers may end up wanting to do the business because they know people that need to have it. You got to remember, when it comes down to sanitary napkins, it's not a luxury. It's a necessity. And what we've got here is so different. And we have to take advantage of that. Next slide we got here is taking the lead. Okay, once you feel comfortable, it's time for you to take the lead. You become the leader. At some point, you're going to say, and you could actually be a leader, or I would say a leader in training, day one. But at some point, you're going to say, it's time for me to take that next step and say, I want to get this team going. I want to start leading, and I want to start producing leaders. Try to identify someone in Breakroom that can assist you in becoming a leader. It could be me. It could be one of the diamonds. That's why Facebook is so important, because all the diamonds are on Facebook, every single one of them. And you can communicate with them. We have our Breakroom International chat group. You can start communicating there, and private messaging people on Facebook is a great tool for business. So identify some of the people, start becoming friends with them, introduce yourself to them, let them know you want to become a leader, and work together, because all those diamonds are getting the global pool bonus. Because starting at Sapphire, you get 1 share of the global pool bonus if you're a builder package or higher. So that means they're going to get a percentage of your sales volume, not the package volume, but the sales volume. So the better you are at building, hey, guess what? They're going to make money from your production. So we all want to help each other here. Another key is to identify your weakness. Now, I talk about this on a few different training sessions. And why is that important? Because of the next bullet point. Find people where your weakness is their strength. And I talk about this in other training sessions because it's so important. Many years ago, I was being mentored by a very famous trainer named Tom Hopkins, a little promo to him out there. And because of him, I was able to take my business to the next level. And one of the things he said, he was talking about comfort zone. And your comfort zone can also be compared to your weakness. Now, we have to break from our comfort zone, go outside of our comfort zone, and turn things that we don't feel are comfortable into being comfortable. Well, the same thing when it comes to identifying your weakness. But the good news here is find somebody where you're weak, their strength is your weakness. And that makes you a well-rounded business. Maybe not individual, but a business. We can't be good at all things. It's just not going to happen. And I'll use basketball for example, because that's a sport that's known internationally. Not everybody is going to be a great three-point shooter. Not everybody is going to be a great dunker. So they have experts in that. You have people that are dunkers. You have people that are three-point shooters. So if you need 3 points, guess where it's going? To the three-point shooter. You all work as a team, and that's what network marketing is. It is a team. Start doing demos, even if it's only for one person. And it's great if it's just one person because that's where you practice. And that's what I did. One person, then it became two, and then those two invite a couple more. Will everybody show up? No. If you don't bring somebody to an event, chances are they won't show up. If you bring them there, they're there. And that's what I tell people. If you're going to go and attend somebody else's demo, it could be yours or somebody else's demo, as long as somebody's doing them, bring them with you in the car. If you invite 10, 2 will show up. People tell me, I invited 3 people and nobody showed up. Well, because you didn't hit that certain rule. When it comes to invitations, about 20% show up. 20% of 3 is not even really 1, not a one full number. So no one's going to show up. Again, people say, why are you talking about such low numbers? Because it's business and you have to be aware of the low numbers to succeed. So if you want you want 2 people to show up, make sure they're in the car with you. Those of you in the Philippines, you don't have a car, motorcycle or a jeepney, make sure they're with you. Whatever you're doing, any form of transportation. If you need to meet them somewhere, and make it sound important. The leader in the area is going to be there tonight, and I told him you're going to be there. Don't make me look bad. Let's meet at whatever time, and I'll meet you there, and we'll go together. So that's your close when it comes to getting people to attend events. Look for your first 5 directs that are local. Okay, don't find them online. These are people that you should already know. That's the best way to do it because Break Road is so different than other programs. Your friends and family may want to do this, but they didn't want to do something else. And that's because of our campaign, our mission, our cause, what we're doing. They all have women in their families, friends and families, and even in your family that are being poisoned, that are getting cervical cancer. These are facts. And they don't have the product. They're not using a product like ours. You can not only change their life, you could possibly save their life, make them feel more comfortable. You have so much power in what you can do. So find these 5 directs, okay? And again, not online, right? Now, these should be people that you know. Develop their team. And the reason why we do it as 5, because it's easy for you to control 5. Not all 5 will make it. Those are the numbers. But some will. Hopefully 2 or 3 will out of the 5. If you're lucky, maybe even all 5. Start developing their 5. And maybe with 2 people each. We call it the power of 2. That for me is slow starting. I like the power of 5. 5 building 5 building 5. Because if you have 5 and bring in 5, Now that's 25 to bring in 5. On your next level, you're 125. And then they bring in 5, you're at 500. Just from the power of 5 through 4 levels deep. So that's a number that can be reached. And I know because I've done more than that. I've done as many as 2,500 my first 6 months. And that was an e-commerce online program internationally. And it was a lot harder than Break Road. So I know the numbers can be done. I worked like crazy though. I was working maybe 16 hours a day to get those kind of numbers. But even if you can get to 500 in that same time frame, you're off to a great start. Do the demo for them. Okay, they're new. They may not be good at it. You're learning. They're learning. But you have a bit of more experience in Break Road than they do. Do the demo for them. And that'll help them feel more comfortable. The more they see it, great. Then have them practice on you. When they're with you, even 2 weeks, they should do a demo for you. And this way you can critique it as well, and they can start doing it for their friends. Continue with taking the lead. As you build your local team, start planning larger events. It may start at somebody's house. And look for your area where there are events that or places that don't charge you certain money or any money. Certain restaurants, they have meeting rooms, and they'll let you use their room for free as long as people buy some food. Or there's places even like I had one of the time when I was starting a new business with somebody, we used Dunkin' Donuts. And that's almost all around the world. They had a meeting room, and it was really cheap. It didn't cost much money. But that was our investment, and then people would chip in to help pay for the room, which we're also going to cover. Look for a location to have a local event. And that's a location that's around the center of where all the people you're inviting. Think of maybe, depending on where you are in the world, certain people think going a half hour is a long way to go. Some, it's 15 minutes is a long way to go. Some people will go an hour. So you know your area, what you need to do. So if it's a 30-minute drive, it's considered about as far as people will go. Pick a location that's within 30 minutes of everybody that you're inviting. It'll make it easier. More people will show up. If there's a fee, I just talked about that. Make sure your team contributes. Do not charge the guests. Guests don't pay. And it could be as little as $5 per person if it's a smaller room. And as you grow into larger rooms, you need to train your team where they should learn to contribute. It may be a larger room where you're spending $300 or $400, like a once of an event, big event, where you're going to have hundreds of people there. Hey, have them chip in as well. You don't need to do this on your own. I know in the Philippines, those are listening there, sometimes you get a free room if you just purchase the food, and that could be as little as $3 per person, and sometimes even less because food is not as expensive there. Each country is a little different, so you have to know what your country is all about if you haven't done this before. When doing a demo, make sure the distributors are sitting with their guests close to the front, very close to the front, okay? Because the presentation in the back of the room is different than the presentation in the front of the room. And people say, what are you talking about? It's the same presentation. Not the way they conceive it or they're a part of it. We want to get some of them involved. There'll be volunteers when you demo that'll come up and field Pad, Brand X, and Pure Essence. Or they'll as you take the layers apart, you'll pass it around. They'll see our layer's dry, theirs is wet. All the different things. They can see when you're doing the absorbency test, the cup of water. And now we have the negative ion demo, which is very powerful. And the closer you're to the front, the more impact it's going to have. Also, you need to sit with them because sometimes you may just, hey, did you see that? Can you believe that? You have to be excited, which will raise their, they say, wow, he's excited about this. Maybe they missed something, but maybe they agree with you as well. So every time you and your team see a demo, it should be like the first time you're seeing it. Applause and positive reaction is a must. Someone's being introduced, First of all, if there you have a guest speaker, someone needs to edify that person, build them up, introduce them, make it a powerful and applause. Make sure all the distributors in the room are applauding to give it a warm, exciting, and emotional presence, state of mind we talked about, or your mindset. So it's important for people to see, wow, this guy, they like him, and people here are excited. There's something going on here. And again, reinforcement as well. When that presentation is going on, you can kind of nudge the guest that you invited if you're sitting next to them. If you invite two people, sit in the middle. One on the left and one on the right. That's how you want it to be. They need to see your energy. Again, it's like the first time you're seeing that presentation. Dealing with frustration. Yes, a leader never complains to downline. Okay, you got to be positive with your downline. Are there problems? Are there bad days? Are there things with the company that may be going on if they're introducing a new product, or we talk about even shipping challenges, things that are going on? The thing is, you may not know the reason for it, and there could be a great reason for it, for that issue. Okay, there could be, and so you have to understand that, and just speak with someone that may know what the challenge may be, and just if they say that something's being worked on, yes, that's important. Could there be future challenges? Yeah, there are companies I know that have been in business since the 70s, network marketing companies that have recently run into challenges. It's going to happen. I've seen network marketing companies, big network marketing companies with over 200,000 distributors, change their entire product line because it no longer is a popular product. They've done that. So things are going to happen. I've seen where they switched their payroll cards to another card, and the first 2 months there were problems. It's expected in this industry because we're not dealing with 200 people, 300 people at a company. You're dealing with thousands of people. You have to expect that. Now, this is a hard one. You can get frustrated with the following here. You can be frustrated with yourself at times. You're not happy with what's going on, what you can do better. You can get frustrated with your team. Maybe they're having a bad month or a bad day. Hopefully not a bad year. But that's when, if you can't change your people, change your people. That's the phrase I always use. Your guests. Maybe you invited 10 people and 2 showed up. That's the way it can be. You can even get frustrated at the company. That happens. That's normal. I don't know of anyone that has a job out there and maybe a great company and they get frustrated with that company. It is normal because they don't always see things the way or do things the way you do. It's just expected to happen. Your results. You may not be happy with your results, thinking you're not doing good enough. Well, you can always improve that. The past is history. You're going to make your new history starting now. So focus on making that new history better. Don't dwell on the past. Your event. You may plan an event and you thought you're going to have 100 people and 2 show up. Hey, I'm planning this webinar. I thought I'd have 50 people, 100 people. How many show up? So few. People give the excuse, well, I know I'm recording it, so I don't need to be there live. Well, guess what? Starting very soon, I'm going to have extra bonus time with these, and those are not going to be recorded. And it's with the people that are here. I can see the same people showing up. We had some people that couldn't make it tonight, and I know some people said they had a hard time getting on. It's the way it is, but if some people here, that means it was easy to get on. Is that an excuse? I don't know. But the key is we're going to be frustrated. You can't let that bother you because maybe a few people show up to a webinar, but then 500 to 1,000 to 10,000 people watch it later on. That's the whole key, or get the message. You want to focus on, hey, you're there. That's all that matters. You are there. And your next superstar could be tomorrow, or it could be discovered tomorrow. You do nothing, it's not going to be discovered tomorrow. This is all going to happen, so be prepared. That's why I talk about things that may not be so positive, because other companies don't talk about this. I want you to realize not every day is a perfect day. So we have to act and build as if that's it. The psychology of leadership, the right attitude is critical, even on those bad days. People will come to you with problems. You need to be solution-oriented. That's what a leader does. finds a solution to other people's problems. There will be good and bad days. That is normal in this industry, as well as weeks and months. You must be creative in your mind and actions, what you're doing. I find out people that succeed in network marketing are also very creative. And that's a good thing. And everyone can learn to be creative. Just may not have used special talents that were not discovered yet. Yes, even you making maybe thinking about giving up. That's a type of the typo there. It may think about giving up. Okay, not think. It's think about giving up. So those watching the recording as well. This happens to the most successful people in the world. It's normal. Again, with those bad days and good days, if you have a few bad days in a row, people say, is this really going to work? Well, guess what? If you quit, it doesn't work. It will work if you stick with it and give it time. Too many network marketers expect success in 2 months. It could take a year. It could take 2 years. Your traditional business takes 4 to 5 years to show a profit. With BreakRoad, you can make a profit. I made a profit my first 2 days, and because I got serious about it. I'm really big about if I'm going to invest money in a program, I want to get my money back as soon as possible. So that's what I do. Always appear positive, even if you're feeling down. You're going to do an event, you're not having a good day, and it may not even be because of business. Maybe because of a family situation. Something at home didn't go right. Well, guess what? You're on stage when you're doing an event, and you got to be as positive as can be. Being focused is key that should be for you and your team. Too many typos on this slide. So being as focused is key for you and your team. They're following you. You're the leader. If they see you're not focused, hey, they may not be focused. So that is very important. Your leadership summit. Now things are going to change. We got this slide and one more slide and we're done. This is when you really start taking the lead. You have a team that's going. About 1 year, you may think about having a leadership summit, and we can help you plan that as well. This is usually a Friday afternoon or evening through Sunday afternoon, and it could be even like around lunchtime. It ends on Sunday. You can invite other leaders as speakers, so leaders from other teams. Invite them, because what's going to happen if you're a leader, they're going to invite you to their summit. And when you invite, that means you pay their way to get there. You don't pay them to do the event, you pay their way. And that includes food, and the food is always included with these summits. We'll teach you how to do that. But you're paying, but technically you're not. We'll talk about that. This will be full of fun and training and training others to be leaders. So you're going to have fun. There'll be some fun events, and we'll teach you those events to do, as well as training, and recognition is so key in this. We'll talk about that. You can team up with another leader as well and maybe do a summit for 2 teams, you and another team, and you're going to charge for these summits. You're going to get a price at the resort or wherever you're doing it, at a hotel, including the meals, and figure out what the cost is going to be per person, and then add the cost to get that guest speaker or speakers there. So you're not really paying for it technically, and it's an investment in their business. They all need to think that way. It's best to do this out of town to get away from distractions. You don't want to do something locally because people may tend to go home at night or get away and then may not come back. You don't know. Go out of town. We used to rent a school bus, charter a school bus in the U.S., and go about 3 hours away. And people would chip in, and we had a great time. You build team bonding. It's good for everybody out there. Oh, I got to go quick. People will share rooms, and food needs to be provided by the place you're staying, so you can share the rooms. I got to get here quick before we get cut off. I suggest you have award certificates, plaques to give out. You can use the entry fee money for this as well, so it's not coming out of your pocket. You'll need to have advanced sales with a cutoff date, so you have money in advance to do the event. This gives you time to print for printing the handouts as well. You should have a lot of product available to sell at the event, so you can make some money as well. Have a few of your potential team leaders help you with a summit. It will be great for training for them for building their summits, and you'll be the speaker. Eventually, your team leaders will have these summits, and you'll be the guest speaker at those events. Hopefully, you found this helpful, becoming a Break Road leader. I think we're just about done here. I'm going to stop the recording.